part about golf is that everyone sucks in the beginning. Whether you're Tiger Woods or any other player on the face of this planet, everyone struggles in the beginning. Today, we're going to review the book Why You Suck at Golf by Clive Scarff. Hey everybody, my name is Michael Leonard, the creator of Wicked Smart Golf and a golf writer for the past 5 years. Now, before I became a scratch golfer, I sucked at golf. In fact, my first tournament, I shot 124 my freshman year of high school. Needless to say, teams weren't really scouting me out to join their college team. 4 years later, I shot a 74 in that same tournament with a 50-shot improvement. Point is, everyone sucks in the beginning, but you can get better. Inside this book, there are 50 lessons from the author to help you stop sucking and have a little bit more fun out there. I agree with a lot of what he said, and some of the concepts are even in my book, Wicked Smart Golf. Now, of the 50 lessons, most of them are great and especially good for beginner golfers. But there are a few that I disagree with. So today, I want to go through 7 of the biggest ones and 3 that I disagree with to help you play better golf without changing your swing. Now, according to the author, a lot of the reasons that golfers suck out there is they're not warming up, specifically not hitting the putting green before they go to the golf course. I could not agree more with this. If you go to the golf course, you see most players out on the driving range, they're warming up, they might even do some flexibility stuff in the parking lot, and then they'll rush to the first tee. But very few golfers are actually out there learning the speed of the greens. Now, I play in a ton of competitive events now, and I try and spend most of my warm-up time actually on the putting green. Now, understanding the speed of the greens and really getting that dialed in is one of the most important parts, I think, of playing wicked smart golf. Because if you're long or short all day on the greens, it's going to lead to 3 putts, maybe even 4 putts for beginners, and a lot of wasted shots. In fact, I spend very little of my time warming up on the range because I know I can't change my swing in 10, 20 minutes before the tee time. I'm there strictly to warm up, get my body ready, but I spend most of my time on the putting green. Another reason he says that a lot of players suck at golf is that they're aiming at nothing. This, again, is a concept I couldn't agree more with and something I really stress inside my book as well. Alignment is key. Now, a lot of players, when they're on the driving range, especially beginners, are just out there hitting golf balls. And that's okay in the beginning when you're learning your swing and getting the hang of it, but eventually you need to start picking targets and really focusing on your alignment. Because it doesn't matter if you're a +2 golfer or a 20 handicap, alignment is key. This is one of the things I still stress to this day. Despite playing in hundreds of tournaments already, I always go out there and make sure I'm picking a target and assessing my aim. Because one of my big misses is I accidentally get aimed a little bit to the right, which leads to an over-the-top pull and some really bad golf shots. You don't need to always be out there with alignment sticks, but you always want to have a clear target. One thing I really recommend golfers doing is recording their swing on their phone, so that way you can make sure your alignment is where you actually think it is. Alignment is one of the most important parts of golf, so do not skip over that when you're on the range, and make sure your friends are checking when you're on the golf course. I love this third reason. He says a lot of the reasons golfers suck is because they're using crappy balls when they're hitting over the water. I couldn't agree more here as well. There's a golf course about 20 minutes from me that has 27 holes, 21 of them which have water. This place is more of a water park than a golf course. I have hit in a lot of those lakes myself, and when I go out there with my dad, who I love him to death, but he's not the best golfer, he brings a bag of specific golf balls that he is willing to lose. So when he has to carry a lake, he is taking out that golf ball and using that instead. Now, I understand you don't want to lose a $5 Pro V1, but at the same time, this is going to hurt you for 2 reasons. First of all, when you're using old, crappy golf balls that you're okay with losing, a lot of times those golf balls actually are going to travel less and not going to give you the chance to actually get over the lake. The second reason is it's all mental. If you go into that shot thinking, I'm going to lose this golf ball, you probably will. Remember, you need to focus on what you want and do not think about the water. Think about your ball landing at the target that you picked before the shot. The fourth lesson I really like from this book, he talks about shaft stiffness. Now, again, I'm talking about golf here, but it is really, really important for beginners to play the right equipment. Hell, it's important for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a scratch golfer or if you're a 35 handicap, you need to play the right clubs for your game. Now, a lot of times golfers are playing clubs that are too stiff, and when they're too stiff, you're actually going to lower your ball flight, you're going to limit your distance, and you're going to make it harder to square the club face up. So that's why it's really important to play golf clubs based on your club head swing speed. Down below in the description, I linked to a golf.com article that makes it really clear about what shaft flex you should play based on your club head speed. A lot of golfers suck is that they just use one club around the greens. Now, a lot of players that I see are using lob wedge or sand wedge all the time, even if there's a ton of green between you and the pin. Now, what I like to do is mix it up based on what the lie is, how much room I have between me and the flagstick, and again, what the green speed and slope looks like. So, for example, a lot of times I actually like to club down and use a gap wedge because it's a really, really easy shot. You just basically chip it on and it's gonna roll like a putt. While a lot of higher handicappers tend to use way too much loft and you're gonna make your misses way bigger. You're gonna hit a lot of thin shots, a lot of chunk shots, and it's gonna be really, really hard to score well. You wanna make sure to mix up what clubs you use around the green based on the shot and all the factors that I just talked about. It's gonna make it so much easier to score well. The sixth reason a lot of people suck at golf is lacking a pre-shot routine. Watch golf on TV, or I guess live golf on YouTube now, you really notice that the best players in the world all have a pre-shot routine. It doesn't necessarily mean they all have the same pre-shot routine, but they all have something that helps them get in the zone before the shot. This isn't just with golf either. Think about basketball players with free throws or football players kicking a field goal. They all have a pre-shot routine that empowers them and gets them ready to execute on the shot. What I challenge you to do is to create a pre-shot routine on the range and practice it so that way it becomes automatic on the course. One thing for me I like to do is try and keep my pre-shot routine when I'm standing over the golf ball less than 6 seconds. Anything more than that, I will back off and restart. Taking longer over it usually just means some bad thoughts are coming in and a lot of doubt and fear. You want to make sure and practice your pre-shot routine, but make it efficient as well. Seventh thing I really like from this book is that you have to know your yardages, because if you don't know your yardages, it's really just you guessing out there between 7, 8, 9, and you're not gonna have a lot of confidence over the shot. So make sure to learn your distances on the driving range, use a rangefinder or maybe a really cheap launch monitor, and get to know your distances. Make a distance chart. It's gonna make golf so much easier. Now, those were 7 I totally agreed with, but there are 3 that we need to talk about as well that I don't think are the best for beginner golfers. One thing he talks about in the book is that golfers have too strong of a grip. Now, I disagree with this a lot because if you think about it, a strong grip leads to a draw, while a weak grip leads to a slice. Now, if you look at golfers, are they missing more right to left or left to right? Most golfers suffer from a slice or at least a cut that goes a little too far right, assuming you're a right-handed player, than you want. I disagree with this wholeheartedly because I think a stronger grip is going to lead to more power, it's going to help you square the club face up, and it's going to lead to better contact. Plus, you're not going to be playing from the right rough all day. Another concept I didn't agree with here is he talks about you don't need a full backswing. What? Everyone needs a full backswing. You want to take a full backswing, especially with a driver or 3-wood, otherwise your timing during the transition and downswing are going to be way off. Now, I'm not saying you need to have a John Daly swing with a lob wedge, but you want to make sure to rotate fully because your left shoulder needs to get underneath your chin on the backswing so that way you can get that full rotation, maximize their power, and make better contact. The last thing I disagree with is he says that golfers use driver too often. I don't think you can really use a driver too often. In fact, looking back in my career, I wish I would have spent more time with my driver. I'm a firm believer that the 3 most important clubs in your bag are your driver, your lob wedge or sand wedge, and your putter. Those clubs are everything. If you can use those 3 clubs, you can play golf great. So spend more time on your driver, on the range, really get to know your shot, get to know your misses. That way, when you go to the golf course, you can swing with confidence and you're going to be way farther up than if you're hitting 3-wood or hybrid off the tee. This is a really great golf book, though, for beginners. It's super short, it's easy to read, and it's a great gift. So if you really want to mess with some of your buddies who maybe suck at golf right now, or you just need a good gag gift, I think this is a great option. You can actually buy it directly from the link down in the notes below, and I'll also link to my book, Wicked Smart Golf, which teaches you 111 ways to play better without changing your swing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that golf book review and a lot more on the channel. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on that bell for notifications so you don't miss any more videos. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I hope you have an epic day on the links.